Okay.
Hello there.
Hey, Karen.
Yeah, anybody else here yet?
How you doing? Yeah, everybody's pretty much here. Let me see. Well, we have Yamalet. Hey, Yamalet. I forgot to say what's up to you. I saw you when you popped up in there.
Hmm.
Alrighty. So I wanna before we get started, we have one of a special, I would say a special guest tonight. And her name is Z. Her name is Xiang Ming Wang. She's down there. You can see her name. But we call her Z. And Z is a sound healer and, just a beautiful person. And she's staying with us right now. And she just wanted to, I wanted to let her come on and just sprinkle some of her magic manifester juice all up in the spot. So, I appreciate you coming, Z. Appreciate you being here and showing some love. So, I just wanted to introduce her to you all. Excuse me. I just wanted to introduce her to you all just in case you might figure out like who the heck is that. So also Z is going to be joining us in the future in our next iteration of our school semester because we're going to add sound healing to our process. So
In level two.
Level two.
Specifically level two.
Specifically level two. So this is going to be something that's very interesting for you guys. And she is definitely a real life mermaid incarnated on the planet. And her voice and her, her words and everything. It's just, she's deep. Her music is so special and it's just amazing to have her here with us. So thank you, Z, for showing up in our life.
I'm so happy to be here. Hi, everybody. Blessings.
Okay, Yamalet. All right. Thank you. And Yamalet is eating dinner right now, so sorry, putting you on blast, Yamalet. So. All right, here we go. Okay. So first of all, I just want to say I love you, I forgive you, and I accept you. And I want to thank all of you for making it like this far, you know what I mean? Like in your journey in life. So thank you. Like you guys have survived the void. The first month was the void. Me and Michelle, we totally, like now we know we didn't warn you guys, but now we know. Sorry. We are void beings, according to our brother man, Mitchie. We got some deep information about how our energy kind of extends from the void. Like, some people come from, I guess other planets and other places, but Michelle and I, we like literally come from the same void. So this was a huge revelation that was dropped on us because when you're dealing with the void energy, you're talking about 0 point. And everything about our teachings and our energy is pulling you away from all of those things that no longer serve you so that you can kind of just get to that 0 point and just take off to experience this life. So the whole time a lot of the time that we've been here, we haven't really been lucidly experiencing our life. So this lucid dreaming, today you're going to be learning about lucid dreaming techniques. And also I just want to just put in there, this is also about living lucidly. So whenever you start to become lucid within your dreams, what happens is it starts to allow you and it makes you become more lucid here in the physical. Mm-hmm. So it's extremely important for us to really tackle this energy and get a good grip on it so that we can really understand how we can utilize this function of ours. So the first thing I have to do before I even start is transform. So you all know, Mike, I've been having goodies up the yin yang, like so, the neutralization ring. So I just want to let you all know right now, there's a huge neutralization ring underneath your feet right now, underneath your Earth Star chakras. So if you feel warm energy coming and you can, at the bottom of your feet swirling, this is going to be that void energy that we're going to have, and it's going to allow us to just drain all of that energy, that just any blockages or any energy that no longer serves us. We're going to let it drain through, and the neutralization ring is going to kind of neutralize it. So this is at the bottom of your feet. Hold on. We're going to walk up the ladder. Now we have the sun ring. And also, if you guys are interested in any of this, just let me know so I can give you guys the link. And the first thing that I showed you, the neutralization ring, as you know, like the best purchase in 2018, that is one of my best purchases. Like, I recommend that bad boy to anybody. This is the sun ring right here. And the sun ring, it goes 8 layers deep within your aura. So this is for programming, and I'm programming it now to allow us to absorb this information and to open up the gates so that we may have an easy time accessing the lucid dreaming realm in our multidimensional self. So it is. So this is going to be pretty much like at the top of our crowns, allowing the space to open up so that we can receive. So this, yeah, Margarita, you already feeling it. So it's a real thing. Now, the last part of the transformation before we begin. Of course, I have to put on my crown because, as you guys know, I've been on a crafting kick that I just cannot stop. So when I purchased this crown,
Before I mute myself, I'm so sorry I did all that before I mute myself, but crafting is cool. And
yes,
all hail the man with the crown. That's gorgeous.
Yes, all hail. So I just want to let you guys know how amazing it feels to wear a freaking crown on your head that you made. Like, it's no real, it's not real. It's not a huge thing. You can just go Home Depot, Lowe's, and buy some copper wire, get a little thick version of it, and you can make your own. And you can go to YouTube University to get some ideas. So I pretty much was getting this download about making the crown a while ago, and now that I made it, let the games begin. Boom. So it's not like too heavy. It's not too nothing. Like, it is like, boom. So here we go. Lucid dreaming. Margarita, you don't understand. Look, I feel like I'm going to have to do like a crown making workshop, like after like all of this is over, because I feel like everybody on the planet deserves to wear their own freaking crown. Like, it was like, you should have it. But just in all seriousness, because I have an open crown, and especially if you have an open crown, it helps to literally kind of quiet the noise. So the copper within the crown, it kind of conducts the electricity. So your brain is filled up with this electricity. So the fact that it's in a circle, the circle on a geometrical scale, it balances both the left and right hemispheres. And it also equalizes everything within the circle. So the crowns help to equalize your mind, and it helps to equalize so what happens when the left and right brain becomes equalized while you're awake is you slip into the alpha state. So the alpha state, literally, for the most part, we're all walking around in our beta wave consciousness. And beta is action oriented. Normally, when we enter the alpha state of consciousness, we're in like a form of meditation. We're in like almost a deep, not super duper deep, but like we're definitely in meditation. So alpha is the point where literally answers. So for emotional beings, if you're emotional, if you can master the alpha state of being, then you can pretty much have answers just falling into your system without you having to really navigate too much on the up and down scale of your emotions. Because you're constantly like at the 0 point, and it's almost like you're walking around meditating. So hold on 1 second. I just saw a question. Oh my God. So yeah, Nakia Nova L. She said, I can only wonder what it does when it's worn to sleep. So, oh, you better believe I was meditating in that pyramid right there. And I totally had a straight up out of body. I went straight up out of my body from conscious awake, sitting there meditating, and I was out. So it literally, like I was saying, because I'm in alpha state, it's much easier for me to reach. It's much easier for me to move my consciousness up and down the vertical column. It's much easier for me to just navigate my body. So this is how it may seem like if you speak to me, a lot of the times I may have I don't claim to have answers to every question on a block, but I can pretty much almost gain access to any answer. And literally, it's just because a lot of the questions we ask is located within the Akashic records, and it's on an infinity loop. So once you're able to learn how to tap into it, you tap into all of the knowledge of the universe. You may not know it at once, but when people ask you questions, you can easily find the answer. Like, it's just, you start to problem solve. So you start to tap into this when you do spiritual work naturally. When you're in like a state of being super receptive, you're starting to, whenever we start to get into our more receptive states of being, this is when our mind and our body is starting to move towards this alpha state, because we're moving out of the beta everyday kind of sleepwalking life. So the majority of the consciousness in reality is operating in beta wave consciousness. And they're just going about their day, going about a schedule, just doing what every single day, you wake up, you eat, you go to the bathroom, you go to work, you sleep, wake up. It's just the same monotonous routine. So when you start to get into lucid dreaming, you're attempting to end that. So the benefit of lucid dreaming is it starts to it awakens your imagination, but it brings you, like I say, it starts to bring you to a more still 0 point, and then you're able from the 0 point to kind of multidimensionally choose whichever route you would like to choose. All of this stems from having lucid dreams and unlocking your energetic body. So by the end of this call, I'm going to be teaching you guys a specific breathing routine, and I'm going to show it to you on how it should look within your body. I'm going to just draw it real fast. It's real easy. But it's this ancient breathing circuit within our bodies. And when you attach the breath and the attention to this, and you cycle the energy through the circuit, it empowers your energy body. So in order for us to have the power and the energy to lucidly dream or to have out-of-body experiences, for one, you have to have the energy. You have to have either been building up your energy all day long or not wasting your energy. For the most part, we waste a lot of our energy on negative thoughts, on things in the past that we maybe are trying to fix, but we may not need to fix them. So we spend a lot of our energy, our mental energy, on things that's not really here with us in the present. So whenever you do things like that, you are literally using up your dreaming energy. You're using up your vital energy to go towards your multidimensional travels. So a part of the whole dreaming thing is having enough energy to do it. So if you have children, or if you have a lot of responsibilities, this is going to be the time to learn how to actively delegate your energy. because you're going to need energy to do this work. It's not something to where, oh, you go to sleep every night and yeah, I'll be able to do it. What I've learned is that you can't do it that way. When I first started to have my out-of-body experiences and lucid dreams, I didn't have a job. So I definitely had time and I had energy throughout the day, but I was having trouble at first because I was so worried all the time about getting a job, so I was spending a lot of my energy just trying to handle my 3D life. When we all know our personalities cannot handle our 3D life. It is our higher self that is handling our 3D life. Hang on 1 second. Okay, somebody had a question, Karen. We say, okay, what wave level are you in when people around you seem to be part of your dream? Ooh-wee. That's a good question. What wave level, and you mean like alpha, beta, theta, like that? I think if you're noticing that people are around you, like I said, so what level are you in when people around you seem to be a part of your dream? I think the fact that you're noticing that, you're in alpha. If now, theta. So since I'm already talking about alpha, theta, and all this, so there's beta, alpha, theta, delta. When you're in theta, so alpha is normally meditation, eyes closed, not really walking around. But the more and more, because we have been getting bombarded with these energy waves over these past couple of years, like just totally getting hit with these, we have been upgrading. So you guys have definitely been doing the work. So the fact that you have been doing the work, you're gonna start to cross over. You're gonna start crossing into these realms. So you're gonna start to notice, and it's gonna feel real dreamlike. So that's a very good sign to show me, to let you know that you're in alpha, because it's seeming dreamy. It's seeming like normally when you're in a meditation, if you come out of it real quick, the colors around you are different and it's kind of weird. So this is starting to happen for everybody. Our literal reality is going to be as if we are living on the astral plane. So this is why this is so important for us to do this work, because on the astral plane is where things are manifested instantly. It's where you can instantly feel feelings. Like as soon as something comes your way, you can like totally feel it, like all the way. So your sensitivity is going to start to go up. Because on the astral plane, if you have one negative thought, that bad boy is totally coming around the corner. Everything is so fast there. Your vibration is super fast. So as you can notice in your life now, we have been getting all of this coaching and training about, maintaining, like trying to, just make sure that we understand like what we're thinking. And this is why I was giving you guys the information about the mindfulness app. Because the mindfulness app, literally, it leads us up until this point. This is when is like required 100% for us to literally every hour on the hour check in on our feelings and what we're thinking. But we're going to add another twist to it. All right, so let me see. Somebody has a question. Okay, so Margarita, question is, can you clarify what is happening to our consciousness when we go to sleep and start dreaming? Do we go to another dimension? Like, is the dream world a different plane of existence? So, yes. So pretty much, it is definitely a different plane of existence. Now, there's a couple things that happen when we dream. So you're either going to be leaving your body when you dream, or you're going to be dropping down into your throat chakra. And then you're going to be dreaming from there. So our chakra centers, a lot of what most people don't know is they're literal doorways. And the throat chakra is a dreaming doorway. So the difference between the lucid dreaming and the out-of-body experience is when you have the out-of-body experience, you are definitely shifting densities. You are literally going into another realm, but this realm is depending. And now what I'm noticing is just depending on your level of consciousness. Sometimes the realm will be, if this is the 3D realm, some people, they'll go to the realm like right above it, and you'll be out of your body walking around, and you'll see this realm that we're in right here. Maybe people sleep in the bed, or you'll see them, and that's an actual realm. And then there's another layer above that to where those same people, they were just asleep, but when you go to this realm, they're awake and walking around and doing whatever it is they're doing, and they're totally disconnected from their bodies in the lower dimensions. So as you go up, it's like layers of onions, and you're doing different things, and there's different realms of existence on each one of these layers. And when people die, they literally just shed one body and they go to the next layer. And because most people don't do dream work before they die, they go to the layer right outside of their body, which is like the ghost realm. And they can't really interact with the physical environment because it's kind of still like this. So when your consciousness starts to expand, you go above that to a realm that look like Earth and everything, houses, buildings, and everything. But you can't interact with everything in the environment. You can pick up stuff, you can put stuff down, but you're not affecting this 3D reality. You're in a much higher level. Now, there's dimensions and then there's densities. Densities can contain an infinite amount of dimensions. So we were living in the third density. The third density, well, I ain't gonna say it seems like the third density. So the third density, the main things in the third density is the third and fourth dimension. Now you have other beings that infiltrate of higher, so we can be in the third density, and then you'll have a person with a higher dimensional. So you can be in the third density, and your brain can be maybe on a 6th or 7th dimensional level, but you still have a physical body in the third density. So it's a weird thing. Hang on one second. All right, Raul said it takes 72 hours for the soul. All right, so I'm gonna read what Michelle wrote. Michelle says, Ra-Uruhu also said it takes 72 hours for the soul to go through its dying process properly. And all the major religions dictate that the body is moved and cremated or buried before that 72-hour period. This accounts for the massive number of stuck, hungry ghosts on our planet. So I've definitely heard that as well, as far as, having to, because your body, I guess what that stems from is when they leave, if they leave and they go on that first little layer, they're somehow still connected to the body. So what I've learned just through my whole process is when you leave the body, what happens is it's like this cosmic in-breath. Now, this is if you're not going through the reincarnation program. The reincarnation program is literally, it kind of stops the process. Somehow it stops the process of you getting pulled back up into source and literally starting to walk those other layers of the onion that I was telling you about. And we've been kind of going up to this and then coming back down and then going up and then coming back down and then going up, never really going past this first layer. So what this whole thing is about, lucid dreaming, out-of-body experiences, when you learn how to finally do it, you gain access beyond this layer. Most people, they only know about this little ghost layer part of the game. Or either your consciousness drops down into the throat chakra and you are literally still there within the realm of your body. You're not really traveling anywhere deep. what you're really dreaming about is just what you've seen earlier that day, or what has been pressing you. The throat chakra is the realm of, like I say, the dreams. So whatever you dream of doing in your life, the things that your energy is trying to manifest, or the things that's blocking you from manifesting certain things, you'll get pulled into that consciousness and you'll dream about it. A lot of our fantastic dreams, like, for example, I had a dream where I was on the ship of Star Trek, and I was totally with like all of the people, and that wasn't, and I became lucid. Like, I actually became lucid on the ship, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then I was there for like a little bit, and then I woke up. Then I faded out of that, and then I was like back in my room or back in my home. And then I like left my room again because I was still dreaming. So what'll happen is sometimes you'll start off in a throat chakra lucid dream, and then like if you wake up in it, you'll gain access to your actual energy body, and then it'll pull you out of it and pull you into the actual out-of-body experience, which is not really that fantastic. It looks like regular neighborhoods, except it's super 5D. And like not 5D, but super HD, high definition, everything. And you'll see animals like dragons. You can speak to flowers, trees. You can see them move. You can interact with pretty much everything. So most people call it heaven. It's literally like the second layer above this layer. Like, so you have this earth, and then you have that little ghost little layer, and then you have that next layer. This is where most, some people are calling like the ultimate almost heaven or whatever, but it's really just, it's just a layer of the onion. So, okay, hang on. All right, Karen, you asked, where are you when you are in Yoga Nidra? Oh man, I don't even know what that is. Meditation, your brain on Yoga Nidra. Yeah, I don't even know what Yoga Nidra is.
I just posted an article that fortunately goes in depth into all the states of Yoga Nidra. So I think that that's something that's worth people reading. But that'll answer Karen's question. I just put the link in the chat.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that. So where was I at? All right, so just moving right along. Let me see. Okay, so I wanted to just really make sure that you guys really get it about the difference between the lucid dream and the out-of-body experience. So I'm going to really just explain that real fast to clear that up. So there is a difference between lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences. The out-of-body experience is the key that we need to literally move to the next level of our evolution. I've researched, and every master that I've come across when I've read in any book, or anybody that's seeming to be like on that mastery tip, they've all had OBEs. Like, they've all mastered the ability before they so-called crossed over, of leaving their body and like continuing without dying. So what we're supposed to be doing, so what lucid dreaming is going to kind of warm you up. Lucid dreaming warms you up to the fact that there's another existence outside of this one. So the fact that you can wake up in a lucid dream, which is literally a dream that happens in the throat chakra, it is trained. This is like training ground to get you ready and used to being outside of this dense physical body. So the out-of-body experience is, like I say, this is how you conquer your fear of death. This is how you cross that cosmic rainbow bridge, seriously. Now, we have the cosmic energy that's happening right now in society, and A lot of us are starting to wake up, but this isn't what's gonna like help us to conquer death. What help us to conquer death is learning how to leave our bodies so that we don't. So what the ultimate test is detachment and attachment. Because if we're making our way back to source energy, you're gonna have to leave some stuff behind. Because we're at the most densest state right now. So as we go back, we have to shed the density. So as you shed the density, you literally shed bodies. But they call this dying. But what's happening now is we don't have to experience it as a what we call death. The only reason why we would experience this death state after today is because you yourself, it's a certain way you feel about your body. You may be done with it, or you may want to get a do-over. But after today, you won't be able to go back to that reincarnation cycle. So what's going to happen is as we leave our bodies for good, you literally just transform and you shapeshift and you morph into the actual being that you would like to continue to be. Because the true way that we're supposed to experience this existence is reflections of God is as a true reflection of God, meaning all of the psychic powers, all of the clair abilities, all of the teleportation abilities, all of these things, so that we can just gain this experience. We're gaining experience as we make our way home. Now, the trick to this is to know that there is no ending to the journey. The making our way home there's no ending. It can be trillions of billions and millions of years. And then we can still, after all of that, we can still be at another plateau, and then it's even double or triple that. So our journey is so long, and it can become so beautiful. But we have to understand that we don't die. We continue to go on. All we do is we expand. We expand and we grow. And if you're getting this knowledge now, it's because you're done. You're done with all of the old BS. You're done with the old ways of being, and you're ready to step into at least the second layer of the onion. So the outer body experience is what we're going to be teaching next, the next class. But it's just important to know that is the exit. If you want to exit this game, this little video game, Super Mario Level 1, the outer body experience is the exit. And luckily, we have all the time in the world, and we have all of the knowledge that we need to to cross that border. So, and just to let you guys know, I'm 1,000% confident that you all will be able to do this. It's just that you just got to take your time and have the willpower. So the lucid dreaming, the throat chakra. Whenever we go to sleep at night, one thing that you're going to notice is that all day long, your attention is here. All day long, your attention, we'll say a little bit lower, because you're looking out of your eyes all day. So our attention is literally like the pituitary chakra, pituitary area within the brain, mostly all of the time. Whenever we go to sleep at night, you ever notice, like if you was in school and you got to sit up in the thing and then, fall asleep and then your head drop, and then your head drop like that when you fall asleep every time your head drops? Why is it that your head drops? Your consciousness lowers itself and drops down into the throat chakra. When your consciousness drops into the throat chakra, you are instantly dreaming. So this is what a lot of us do. A lot of us, we're dreaming within the throat chakra. So you'll have these fantastic dreams. You'll have these weird dreams where they don't really make sense. Because, like I say, the throat chakra is the realm of manifestation. So you're going to have dreams about a lot of the stuff that you're talking about. A lot of the stuff that if you're creating something or you're going to just have dreams about that. So the throat chakra in the lucid dreaming realm is located literally, the lucid dreaming realm is located literally like within the throat chakra. So, like I say, the lucid dreams is more of a, you'll have more fantasies. Like you'll be in a lucid dream and you'll instantly be flying. Like lucid dreams, you'll go to them and like with no practice or nothing, you'll just be instantly doing something. And it's because you thought like you wanted that to be so, because it's the realm of manifestation. So anything that you want to be so, no matter how ridiculous it is when you're in the throat chakra, it will manifest. So it's important to know the difference. When we have the OBE looks more like real life. And some of the times we'll be having out of body experiences and we won't know that we're having them. We'll think that it's just a dream, but it's an actual real place. So when we have the OBEs, we're in other dimensions where real people exist, where babies can be born on those dimensions, and they will not be born here. So it is literally like another realm that is existing outside of this one, and it has its own rules and regulations. And it's an infinite number of these worlds and realms. And as you expand and as you make your preferences as to how you would like to exist, you get magnetized to certain regions within this space. And then you start the journey from there, or you continue the journey from there. So this whole thing is about transcending our old third and fourth dimensional natures so that we may be able to bring down that energy. So the benefit of even having the lucid dreams, or I would say the OBEs, the benefits for having the OBEs is literally when you wake up from an OBE, your physical body becomes charged and you feel full of energy. Sometimes it can happen from a lucid dream too, depending on how exciting it was. But this is a way that this is how I charge my physical body up. And I can keep my youthful stature and my youthful energetic state. Because every time I have an out-of-body experience and I come back to my body, I get flushed with like this cosmic energy. So it starts to transform you. And literally now I can only sleep 4 hours at a time. I don't sleep no longer than 4.5 at the most. And my body is constantly being filled up with this cosmic energy. Because I've had so many out-of-body experiences, my body is totally in alignment with that energetic flow, with my energy body. So having an OBE, it unlocks your energy body. When you unlock your energy body in this physical realm, you seem to do things like magic. So I'll give you guys an example. It was last Christmas or the Christmas before when we was in Arizona, Michelle, I can't remember. I think it was not this Christmas, but the one before. When the girl who we were staying with, one of her sons, somebody gave him a piano, like one of those electric keyboards as a gift, as a Christmas gift. And she had batteries, but the batteries were dead. Like they was dead for a while. So what I did was, we're energy. So because we're energy, the battery is energy. Like I say, I've been doing a lot of out-of-body experiences, and I've been unlocking my energy body for years. So it's getting better and better. I'm not saying I'm all the way there, but it's totally getting better and better. So I just grabbed something, I grabbed the battery, and then in my mind's eye, I saw like the circuitry of it, and then I just started flooding this energy in it. And I started in my mind, I went to theta. So alpha, now we're at theta. I was imagining that I was putting energy into this battery. And then I was feeling the energy go through my arms and in my hands, and I was feeling my hand heat up. So the fact that I was imagining and feeling what I was imagining, this was the sign that I was in the theta brainwave state. The theta brainwave state is the gateway into our God consciousness. our higher self, mind consciousness, whatever, God, light consciousness, Godhead consciousness, whatever you want to state. Theta is how you actually cross the bridge into your higher self's consciousness. So I imagined that this energy was flowing through my hands, and then I saw it in my mind, and I saw the batteries just go bright, and they start like, it was just a bright blinking in my mind. And then I was filling my hands. So I said, okay, put these batteries back in the thing. I believe it's still working to this day. They put those batteries back in there, and that thing cranked right on up. The same thing happened to our car key alarm battery. Totally died. I totally did the same exact thing, and it's still working to this day. When you unlock your energy body within yourself, you become unlocked. You have a lot more access to the energy around you, and you can manipulate it. And when I mean manipulate it, meaning you can influence it, you can axe it, you can like access it, and you can direct it. It's just how much believability, it's really just believability, really. It's believability, and how good are you at working your imagination. So I just learned that when we enter into our theta wave and we're able to feel our imaginations, this is what a lot of us is calling the fifth dimension. Okay. So this is what a lot of us are calling the fifth dimension. So with the fifth dimensional mind frame and the fifth dimensional consciousness, it is literally like located in the theta wave state. So the fifth dimensional consciousness is more going to be based on your imagination. So in order for us to manifest correction in our life, we have to imagine it. Looking for the It's too late. You already interrupted. No. No, that's okay. It's not important. Yeah. Just keep going. Okay. It disappeared. I thought it was somewhere. All right.
All right. Well, I'll look. You keep going. I really don't know.
All right. So the theta wave, and just understanding this with the fifth dimensional consciousness, because we are literally, like I say, we're literally moving into the fifth dimensional consciousness. It's going to be important for you guys to understand these different little things like the theta wave, the beta wave, the delta, and just to know when you enter into delta wave consciousness, you are totally asleep. Like you are not walking around in delta. You are knocked out, but you are totally on the other side and probably having an OBE and doing all type of stuff. So when you start to learn how to master these states, I would, especially so I have certain things to help that. So to help you master the alpha state, there's a product called Ethereum Gold. You need something in the physical. So Ethereum Gold it's made by a company called Harmonic Enterprises. So you can just go on Google and type in Ethereum Gold, and it's only like $30-something, so you can totally afford it. And this is something, let me tell you, when I started taking Ethereum Gold, the first time I took Ethereum Gold, I had 6 out-of-body experiences in one night. And that was the first time I took it because my body was like, oh my God, what is this? I needed it. It literally, so the frequency of gold it does the same thing like the geometry of a circle. It automatically starts to balance out the left and right hemispheres in your brain. So when you start to ingest gold, most people don't know you can totally ingest it, but when you start to ingest gold, you become it. You become like, and I'm not even lying, y'all. I'm talking about like the hairs underneath my arms is gold. I've been taking gold since 2011. And I can only tell you, I am permanently in alpha state at all times. I am always in alpha. I am always bound. My mind is always like ready to answer questions. Is ready to, like you ask me something, I'm like, oh, I can just go look for it and then come back real fast. So as you start to ingest it and I do it for like a couple of months, and then I take a break for a couple of months, and I take it for a couple of months, and I take a break, because when you start to ingest gold, it starts to definitely activate your psychic senses, but it also it activates damn near everything, and you can become super irritated, like supremely. Yes, if you can hear Michelle in the background yelling,
I learned the hard way.
Do not, because she did learn the hard way, because it will make you irritable. So just on a side note, whatever, if you do plan on going down this route, which I highly recommend, y'all, I ain't even playing. I am very picky with the stuff that I highly recommend. So if I highly recommend it, it means that your boy I'm still taking it. So, and you better believe I had an OBE the other day. So, but I ran out, so I'm about to start. I'm about to get some more because I need to get back on my goal again. But yeah, so Ethereum gold is one thing. Another thing is, and I think I threw the bottle away. And I might have told some of you guys already about Go-To Cola. Margarita? Yeah, I remember. I was like, yeah, I told Margarita about that. So have you got it yet? You got it? Can you feel like it working on your third eye area? When you take it, you know? All right. But look, I don't know with Margarita, you've been kind of going off on Facebook. Like, you've been dropping some bombs on us, so you've been using it for sure. So Go-To Cola. It helps to decalcify the pineal gland, so it allows you to see more. It allows your memory to come. It starts to work with your memory, and you just start to. It's like it opens that gateway to those connections. And when our third eye is open, if your third eye isn't open, or if it's calcified, you'll have a supremely hard time discerning things, discerning what's true, what's false. The third eye is a extremely important thing to have, like you working on, like, actively. And it's just important to know that there are items and things. So now, if you don't have the money and you can't go and you can't find the Ethereum gold, then you have another gold thing that you have going on inside of your system, and it's called intention. You can intend. And also it's called imagination. So if you cannot afford to take the physical things, then you're going to have to take the higher. You're going to have to go to the next level of the game, which is you're going to have to go and do it the mental route. The mental route is it'll work just like as if you took a physical thing. It's just that some of us may need to take a pill or to take some of the gold powder or whatever to just stimulate that, so it makes it easier for us to call that memory or to activate that part of our DNA. Once you realize that you don't really need it, like I know I don't really need the gold, but I don't have time to do that much work. Like I'm telling you now, like I'll just manifest the money and I will buy that bad boy and take the shortcut. So the long way around is mentally going into your third eye and energetically speaking to it and sending white light, or I would say yellow light. Yellow is a clearing light energy. So you can use the yellow light energy to clear away things. So you can beam yellow light on your pineal gland. And I would do that anyway, even if you're taking Go-To Cola or the gold. I always do it all. I do the gold. I do the whole gauntlet, just in case. So, but that's if I have time. But but I ain't gonna say if I have time, if I make time. We have all the time in the world, we just have to make it. So you can imagine, and I have this little exercise in my notes that I'm gonna publish one of these days. But it's like this little exercise I got to where you can kind of create this like ball of energy. And you can kind of push it in there in your pineal gland, and you can kind of cleanse it. And you can kind of work it that way, and it works. And you can totally dissolve the calcification around your pineal gland through direct intention, but your intention has to be like the intention of Jesus and all of his homeboys. Hang on. So I have a question, Nova question. I have a ton of gemstones and crystals. Any one of them that you would recommend that assists or helps with lucid dreams? I see you have your court. Oh, you better believe. So, Nakia, you don't understand. You asked the question of all questions. What crystals help with lucid dreams? So, you better believe I got damn near all of them. So, my favorite of all crystals to use for lucid dreaming. Well, I'll just tell you the first one that I did first. The very first crystal that I noticed that actually helped me to have a lucid dream, and to this day, if I put that crystal under my pillow, I will have a lucid dream, or OB. I'll at least have a lucid dream. It's amethyst. Good old raw. I had a raw, not tumbled. I don't really like too much tumbled stones too deeply, unless I'm like you say, if you carry it around and you don't want it to get broke up, then yeah, you do the tumble. But raw amethyst. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Okay, I'm back. So still got my baby. Now you can't really see the purple in this because this, I don't know, the internet is like, we about to break the internet. So can't hardly see it. Can you see it? Dang, it's super bright. Anyway, this is an amethyst, even though it looks white. And this was there you go. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. Yes. Yes. I need to get your dang on camera, man. This thing is way better than mine. So, yes. Amethyst under the pillow. Now, this is what I want you to do. So, we got to know all crystals can be programmed. And, if you got crystals, you probably already know this, but we're going to really, it can really be, I want you to really know this. Like we get a lot of information, but we have to really know these things. Crystals can really be programmed. And I stopped really using this a lot because I used it when I was in a certain location, and every time I would, it would totally wake me up, but it would wake me up in that location. And I was tired of having dreams about the same place in Tallahassee, Florida. So every time I put this on there, I had to do crazy, because I was trying to have so many lucid dreams when I was there. And it totally worked, but it totally programmed like this whole area into this crystal. So every time I use it, it take me to that area, and I'm like just so tired of having dreams there. So so I don't use it that much like I used to, because I gotta I just did not know it was that program. I didn't know that I put that amount of programming in it. Even when I clear it, it still takes me. So I have to do like a whole bunch of clearing with that. So just make sure you are careful with what you are putting into your crystals and where your crystals are going, because they will totally absorb that area. And if you ain't trying to really have a bunch of dreams in this one place, then you might want to clear it out. But what I really know what helps to clear out a lot of my crystals, I didn't use it on this yet. I don't know why. It's the neutralization ring. It totally works. You said this stone has been in the windowsill for about 2 months. Oh, that thing's supercharged up. So how do we program these? I program every crystal I have with my breath. Now, you do whatever you feel comfortable, but I literally breathe through my nose like hard, like. So I will breathe in the crystal, wake me up when I'm in my dream. And I will breathe like, as I breathe out on that out breath, the sentence, wake me up in my dreams, or help me to become lucid. So I'm like, help me to become lucid. Help me to become lucid. Help me to become lucid. I'll do it 3 or either 6 times. Either 3 or 6 or 9. These are the magic numbers. So I notice when I definitely do it 6 times, it is definitely programmed in there. So you can do, and I believe you can do it the same way with taking stuff out. But like I say, I tried that, and I guess I got to go in deeper with clearing this out because it was so hard to clear that out. But it was definitely easy to put it in there. Okay. All right, that was just the old person. So amethyst is one. Another, now my favorite though, favorite, celestite. Celestite, C-E-L-E, stite, S-T-I-T-E. Celestite, however you want to say it. That is a amazing crown chakra opener. And this is the stone that I use to have, like when I'm trying to have OBEs, not lucid dreams, when I'm trying to leave my body, I would use celestite damn near all the time. But I would have celestite, Herkimer diamond, and then I would have a blue stone like azurite or lapis or apatite, blue apatite. Those are some of the stones that I would put with that. So sometimes I would have like a concoction of stones, and then together they would just totally they will always make me aware, and I would just know that I'm dreaming. Or literally I would have an easier time just exiting my body from my bed. So celestite was one of my favorite stones, but I also can't hate on the power of that amethyst because I told you that was the first one. Amethyst was the very first one I put under my pillow, and it's pretty consistent with making me aware. So I definitely recommend amethyst and celestite as some of the main ones, but they have so many dreaming crystals like astrophyllite, you have apophyllite. So I have like a bunch of different crystals that I kind of try to play around with, and then I try to do lucid dreaming and stuff without the crystals, because we don't want to get hooked on anything. You want to always know that you are using these crystals because they are an extension of you. So they're like shortcuts, but you only take the shortcut because you know all routes. Once you know all routes, then you can take the shortcuts because you're pretty much full of the area. And now it makes sense to take shortcuts. If you take shortcuts before you explore all of the routes, then you may not gain as much experience. So I'm not saying not to work with the crystals, but what I'm saying is intention is going to be the most important thing that we're going to have as our tool to get us to these higher states of existence. Because at the end of the day, when you don't have anything, the only thing you have left is your intention. So before you start the attempt of the lucid dream, I have a certain thing that I always go through before I attempt to do any type of dream work. And it's what I like to call mirror work. So this is definitely going to be a part of you guys' homework, and a part of your everyday thing that you're going to want to do at night is you're going to want to look yourself in the mirror, and you're going to want to tell yourself to remember to wake up in your dreams. And you're going to do it to the point to where you are looking at yourself and you see yourself listening. This is not a quick, look in the mirror, we're going to wake up. So I say we're. So I always do the we thing. So, there's no separation. So I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, okay, look, man, we are going to wake up and we're going to have a good time on the astral plane, but I need you to wake up. Because what happens is when you are looking through the mirror, you're looking at your astral self. So we're going to use the mirror as the image that we see in the mirror as our double. And that double can totally hear you. The person you see in the mirror is the person that is having the lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences, not you. This is the first thing to understand. You have another separate part of yourself that literally like exits and it goes apart. So it's kind of like your shadow. So the lucid dreaming world is kind of like the land of the shadow. But the shadow can become transmuted. So as you practice this and we start to gain access to this other realm, you access that shadow self. Now the shadow self becomes integrated and healed in this reality. So all of this dream work that we're talking about, all of this is going to affect your everyday waking life reality. The minute you start to become lucid in other states of existence is the minute you start to literally bring those other states of existence into your everyday waking moment. And this is how that real transformation starts to happen right before your eyes, and you start to see things. You start to see like buildings go up and buildings come down. And things pop up in your reality. And this is what we're calling that Mandela effect. As we start to shift, our perception starts to shift. Correction starts to come in. And we start to see like the true root to the reality. So just going back to the mirror work, first thing you want to do is, one, you want to love yourself and tell yourself that you love yourself, but also look yourself in your eyes and state that you are ready to have a lucid dream, or you are ready to have that OBE. But right now, we're just going to focus on lucid dreaming. We're going to just focus on waking up in our dreams. How in the heck do we do that? The first step is this. We have to set the stage. If you do not set the stage, then you will not find the theater. This is the key. Setting the stage. No stage, no play. So you will go into a random zone and it'll be kind of hard to kind of just pull it together. So every day we go to sleep, it can be an intended purpose. We never have to go to sleep not knowing what it is that we're going to dream about. Going to sleep and not knowing what you're going to dream about is the sign of people who are not really ready to leave and go to the next level. In order for you to break out of this crazy third dimensional, fourth dimensional loop that we've been in for millions of years, in order for you to get out of that and actually move into the cosmic reality, we have to master these things. And I don't mean just knowing, I mean master them, meaning it becomes a part of your everyday existence, because you leaving your body and things like that's a natural thing. To billions and zillions of entities outside of this reality, that's a very natural thing. Hang on one second. So like select what you want to dream about when you go to sleep. Yes. You can literally flood your mind. So what I like to do is, when I was first starting to practice, I would watch. So you can watch something so you can set the stage. So right before you go to sleep, if you want to say you want to go to, like the only thing I can think of is just say Star Trek, because I used it earlier. So say if you want to say I want to visit the freaking Starship Enterprise. So I would watch Star Trek before I go to bed. And I would think about it, and I would state in the mirror that I want to visit this Star Trek Enterprise in my dreams. I want to go there. And as I'm drifting off to sleep, I will flood my attention with images of Star Trek, images of me being on the ship and just pretending. So everything starts off with the pretending, the imagination. Imagination is how we set the stage. Remember, if you can feel what you're imagining, then you're in theta state, and that's fifth dimensional, definitely instantaneous manifestation. So that means if you can feel yourself there, you are going there, meaning you are already there. The trick is to not put any other thought in your mind. So you have to concentrate your mind on the image or the place that you would like to visit. And then you will literally drop down into the throat and manifest it. Your job from there is waking up. while you're there. So we did the mirror work. How we pull it in unintentionally. So how are you saying this question? Oh, wait, my bad. I only see. So Nova, I wonder how. Here's another question. I wonder how we end up in places or see people in our dreams that we may have saw or been at same day without initially asking to see them or be there. Like, how do we pull it unintentionally? So this is what happens. Whatever we see, we record. So if you're on Facebook, and especially all day long, you will be having dreams about Facebook, but it won't look like Facebook. It may look like a school, or it may look like a gathering, or you'll see people from Facebook or people that you know that may be a part of your circle. They'll be there. And what happens is we record all of this stuff through our eyes. And like I say, it goes in and then it gets stored, and then we literally drop down and then we just re-experience all of that stuff. We just re-experience it in like these different ways. So we definitely can pull people's energies into our dreams by thinking about them. So I have this thing to where when I have out-of-body experiences, if I want to see any one of you, I can literally call you into my dreams. And it's just a matter of me focusing on it, and you will like show up and you'll come walking around the corner. Now, will you be aware of that? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. You may be aware of it on a certain level. You may think about me or something like that. But I have done shared lucid dreams before, but not most people are aware of their other bodies, and not even me. Like, I actually visit a bunch of people. Like, I definitely split off and I do coaching and all type of stuff. So, yeah, to answer that question, we can definitely pull people in unintentionally by looking at them. Literally just looking, like walking down the street, looking at them, and then you have a dream and that person will be in your dream somehow. Like, you may pull them in, and it randomly happens because, like I say, we're not in control of our thoughts every day. Like, when you're walking down the street, you're just letting people come in. Like, so for example, when I'm walking down the street, I push out like love, light, and all type of stuff. So I'm kind of like lucid when I'm out there. So I see people and then I give them love and energy, and I kind of like complete my energy with them. And then I send them on their way, and it's like they just don't cross back over. So when you become lucid, like when you're like literally just walking around and you're just aware mentally, your thoughts isn't going all over the place, then you can have more control over like what energy is getting stuck in your mind. Because a lot of times you may walk past someone on the streets and they may ding you a little bit, and then you don't really go into that. The difference is I will go into that. I'm like, dang, why is this person around? Why do I keep seeing this person? And I think about him, I'm like, oh, it must be some energy exchanging going on. And then I like kind of wrap it up within that moment. So let me see this next question. Michelle say, can be exiles, firefighters, and managers pulling in dreams too? Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. So that you can kind of see, so that you can kind of work on certain things, because the good part about having dreams and being aware in dreams is that you can actually work on your body. You can work on your psyche. You can work on expanding yourself. Yeah, Nova. Keep calling you Nova L, but I don't know what to call you. Nakia, Nova L, I don't know what to call you. But anyway, yeah, it's deep. It's super deep. And it's like there's a whole entire existence, like right now. And all of our lives, we've been going to elementary, middle school, high school, college, going to work, having babies, doing all of this regular stuff, walking on the ground, driving everywhere. When you got a whole entire reality to where you can fly, walk through walls, speak to plants, You can do all of this stuff and you're kind of doing it, or at least you're going there. That name is more dreamy. Nova. Yeah, I like Nova. So, so yeah, you know, and Nova, this is so deep. Literally, the new Earth is called Nova Earth, and Nova Earth is literally what we're talking about when we're talking about that Earth where you'll be able to fly, you'll be able to kind of do these magical things that you don't think human beings can necessarily do. So to me, the fact that your name is Nova L, like, nah, ain't no coincidence. Like, you are definitely here anchoring in that new energy. And this is exactly why you're on the phone being a beacon to your people, your family, and your tribe. Because once you guys get this information embedded in you, you got to know this is within your cells, your blood, your nervous system, and it goes out through your aura and it spreads out like a virus. And then next thing you know, more and more people are starting to wonder about their dreams, or they're going to want to start to get more and more into that new reality. So every time we have out-of-body experiences and we go to these higher realms and we come back, we anchor in that Nova Earth. We bring that new Earth back. So every time you go and you have these experiences, you bring a piece of that magic. And this is what I want you guys to really know and to really feel important about, especially if you become lucid and you start to make it lucid, because you're doing a huge service for the planet. Because the more and more of us turn on, this is how all of our lights turn on. This is how you get that attitude to where nobody can really stop you. Because if you're walking through walls and flying around and making magic come out of your hands and doing all this stuff on these other realms, something in you is going to be like, maybe I can do that here. Maybe I can do a version of that unlocked state here? And then when you start talking like that, oh, the game is a wrap. The game becomes a total wrap, and you become a total master in the flesh, and you start doing your thing, and you start spreading that message to everybody else, and you want to have everybody else meet you on that plane because you realize how free you are. So I became unlocked, and I've experienced super supreme freedom. And I just want to share that with you all. I just want you guys to experience that so that you can make the magic happen in your life, so that you can actually see your imagination playing out in front of you. So you can see how you just said you wanted this, and then, you know, wow, it's like that. It's just that when you get on the astrals, it's like 100 times faster. So if you have that negative dark thought, guess what's going to happen? On the astral, it's coming. Positive is coming. If you at equilibrium, oh, your astral experience is total equilibrium. So the first thing we understand when we start to lucid dream is calm. So I'll talk about that after the, let me see. Okay, after I teach you the reality check. Okay. So anyway, so we got the mirror work, and then the next on the ring is the reality check. This is the gold of the gold. All right, question. All right. So, reality checks. What is a reality check? This is the way that I walked down the path of lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences, and it was the way of the reality check. We have to have some type of way to figure out which reality we're in. Hence the reality check. So how can I figure out which reality I'm in? Like, what do I mean, right? So when you leave your body and you go into the other realms, one thing that you notice is, like I say, you can walk through the walls and you can do all type of little things that the body can't really do. So one thing that the body cannot do is, well, I was going to say, well, let me see. Dang, Michelle, I'm trying to figure out which one to give them first. Okay, I'm going to give you guys, let me see. 1, 2, I'll give you 3. So the first one I'm going to start is with mind. when you hold your nose and you breathe in through your nose, nothing, right? When you pinch your nose and you hold it, you breathe in, no air. No air goes through your nose when you pinch your nose. If you pinch your nose in a dream and you breathe in, nothing but air goes through your head. It is the craziest experience on the planet. This is what I use to wake me up in my dreams. So how did I know to do it in my dreams? Every hour on the hour, guess who was doing the mindfulness app? I was doing every hour on the hour, I would do a reality check on top of asking myself how I feel. So what happens is I started to create a habit. You have to create a habit. Habits are something that you can actually create on purpose. So I created the habit of checking in with myself and my reality every hour on the hour. This is why I wanted y'all to do that mindfulness app, and I was really serious about it. Because every hour on the hour, if you pinch your nose and you take a deep breath in, you ask yourself, am I dreaming? So every hour on the hour, I would pinch my nose and I would say, am I dreaming? Take a deep breath in, and if no wind is going through my nose, all right, I guess I'm still in the reality. I'm not out of my body. I'm still here. Because when you leave your body, it feels like you're here. This is the trickiest thing. It does not feel like you're in another space or another zone. It will trick you, and you will think that you are in your house, in your neighborhood, at your old high school, totally forgetting that you've been out of high school for about 30 years. You will be in these real environments where you will not be able to tell if you're dreaming or not. So if you don't do this hourly check with yourself, you won't dream and then do it in your dreams. So what happens is when you continue to do it in your dreams over and over, every day, you checking in, holding your nose, breathing in, holding your nose every hour, you're going to kind of do it. You're going to be in your dream, and then something is going to stop you and be like, wait a minute, am I dreaming? And then that's when you go and you pinch your nose, and you're going to have a wave of air. The first thing that happens when you have that wave of air, you will get crazy excited. And then you're going to wake up. Every time. Everybody, when they go through this step, they always wake up immediately because you could not believe that it actually worked. Hang on 1 second. Somebody's asking a question. Oh, no rush on this question, but have you ever repeated the time to yourself as you fall asleep and then wake up at that exact hour? Yes. Yes. I said I need to be up at, say, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I need to really be up. And then I will set the alarm clock or whatever, and then I will wake up like 5 minutes before. I'll wake up before the alarm clock go off, because you can do that with your body. You can program this. This body is highly programmable. So you say, all right, I've done it multiple times, and I wake up at the time I repeat it. If not within minutes of it, cool experiment. Yeah. Yes. So I've done that a bunch of times where I would say I need to be up at a certain time, and then I would just wake up. Like I got to be up to go to the airport or some craziness because I ran track in college. So I had to do a lot of that, getting up super early for no reason, going to the weight room, all of that craziness. So I had to do all of that, and I would notice a bunch of times how I would beat my alarm clock. And then I noticed that I did not really need an alarm clock because I would just do that all the time. I always would wake up before the alarm would go off, unless I was crazy tired. And Michelle says that's why ghosts often don't know where they are or that they are dead. Boom. Most people, when they die, folks, they don't know that they're dead. That was the most wildest thing that I've ever encountered when I started having OBEs, was people that have died before going about their business as if they are still alive. And I mean, y'all, I'm not even joking a little bit. I'm talking about still going to the grocery store. Dead. Totally dead to us in our reality. Going to places like CVS, Walgreens, going to restaurants. These places exist on the higher realms of existence, like literally stores and anything that you can think of. Like it actually exists in a form, in a way. We have so many multiple realities, so many different earths and parallel existences. It is mind blowing. A lot of people nowadays, especially after 2012, because we're not doing the reincarnation thing anymore, this is accounting for the most confusion. This is the reason why they are super confused. It's because they're not even going to that low light and then coming back. They're not even doing that. They are literally going into another realm, and they think that they're alive, and it looks like they're alive, and they are alive. A friend of mine, his name is Ike, travel in peace. I can't say rest in peace because he ain't resting. I totally was in a lucid. I was in an OBE walking down the street, and I realized I was in an OBE, and I'm like, where the heck am I? So I'm walking down the street, and I got into this little. It was somebody having a conflict, and I was like trying to clear it up, and then I saw my friend Ike across the street, and I was like, Ike, and he was like, Kayvon. I was like, man, what's up, man? I was like, I was like, yo, I ain't see you in a minute. Like, you're not where I'm at anymore. And he was like, he was kind of confused about it or whatever. But to him, he's alive. And I just was talking to him like normal. And then I went about my business because I'm not really obsessed about dead people being alive on other realms anymore because I don't seen it too much. So I just kept going about my business and I kept going with my exploration. So it's just super deep. It's super deep when you understand this because a lot of us have lost family members and people that we love. And I don't even want to say lost because they're not really lost. They're like existing. It's just we don't know what's going on down here. So we put all this crazy energy towards it because we don't understand. Some people, because their energy isn't because their energy hasn't made it to a certain level of the game, they can't make it to that Nova Earth, fifth dimensional reality where people flying around. They're not ready for that yet. So they have to live out that third dimensional existence somewhere. They have to continue that because in order to get into these higher realms, you have to make it. Like you have to like kind of be accepted like you can't just be, unless you're on a specific little mission to do dirty, sometimes we have some little devil characters out here, y'all, that's total angels. And they playing the game. They totally playing the role of the devil. And as soon as they leave that body, they go right back to the angelic realm like nothing ever happened. Just so that they can trigger people into awakenings. We may not understand it, so we judge it. All right, let me check these questions out. Y'all going in on these comments. All right, so that's why I go through them. Michelle, Michelle said I went to Starbucks and then I went. It's so crazy because I have these lines down the middle of my screen, so it's like blanking out the words. And I was like, I went to Starbucks in a cream. I'm like in a cream. So
do you want me to read it?
Yeah,
do you want to ask somebody to read it?
Yeah, you can do that, I guess.
I forgot about that thing on your screen. We got Let's start a fundraiser. New laptop for Kayvon. Okay.
Yes, I think I need to upgrade. It's about time.
So I just said I went to Starbucks in a dream like 10 years ago, and I was like, no, it's invaded other dimensions. I just remember waking up and being like shocked. You can tell that Starbucks, whoever does their marketing, knows about sigils and has done it in multiple dimensions. So Nakia said, can you explain anything pertaining to why we can't see some deceased people in our dreams while others we can? Like my father passed and I always want to see him in a lucid dream and even try to prep before a dream, but I never see him. Then she's just responding to my thing. Maybe my inner G isn't there or I'm not ready.
Okay.
And then Kayvon, I did a response to that, and then that's all that's in the chat. So I'll just read that and then you can continue responding. So I can turn my mic off.
Okay.
The dimensions the dead go to are just as full of activity as this one. Sometimes it takes a lot of energy for an ancestor to stage a dream meeting with you. If you really want one, ask sincerely, burn ancestor money, send offerings, and be patient. Just like we have to learn to connect with them, they also have to learn to communicate with us. So just keeping in mind that once you shed this body, it doesn't make you suddenly like all knowing and all powerful. Like there's still more to learn, and now you have to learn how to do it just from your light body, and you have to learn how to connect that to this realm. And so just like we're learning here in this class, they have classes like this in their realm, and they're doing the work just like us.
Yep. Yes. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. And Nova, what year did your dad pass?
He passed in 1988, and I was only 2 years old. It was after my second birthday, the day after my second birthday.
Okay, I have a similar issue. My dad passed in 1981, and I definitely have never seen him on an astral plane.
Okay.
It's after 2012 is when I started really seeing people. It's something that happened to where literally like it just unlocked something, and I just got a chance to kind of see like, you know, where some of these other people were going. And because your dad might have passed before then, he could either have been, depending on just his belief, his spirituality, if he was into church big time or anything like that, he could have, that the white light routine was definitely on board during that time. And the white light is anyone who walks into that white light, you go off into like this little space or whatever, and then you're there for a little while, and then you come back as a baby.
On the flip side of that, can I ask, because I saw my son before I had him. So I kind of, it's kind of bizarre because I feel like I kind of manifested him because I had a dream about him before he was born. It's a long story. I'll keep it short. But one night I was looking out my telescope and I was looking at Orion's Nebula, where I feel like stars are born. It's a constellation in the sky. Mm-hmm. And this was the day after I had my dream, and I spoke his name as I was looking at the constellation, and this big shooting star came flying through the sky. But I saw him in a dream before he was born, and now he's here. And when I look at him, it's like this is the exact baby that I saw. And so I can't see my father, but I saw my son. It's really bizarre. So just,
yes.
I don't know.
Yes, because he was in a different realm. Literally, so they have like before the souls come in, they have a bunch of movies about this now. It's just if we take them serious or not. But they literally check you out. Like your children, they check you out.
That's so crazy.
For, you know, all, you know, fully conscious beings, you know, ready to come in, knowing like this. And this is why this knowledge is out here now, to where we chose, like we literally signed up for this. But we so a lot of us, before this whole wake up thing has been happening, we totally signed up for it, but we were kind of like tricked in a sense. But
I feel tricked every day.
right, every time. So it's like, so there's this thing called the life review, right? And we all hear about it when you die. They say you go, you know, these angels meet you, and then somebody from your family, like your ancestors, show up, and, you know, they walk you across the bridge, and then they take you to the life review. And then at the life review, you see, oh, you did this or you did that, and then you feel a certain way. And then because of what you've done, you get kind of coerced or whatever into coming back. And when you come back, you lose all of your memories.
Wow.
So how do you grow? Every time you come back, you lose your memories. And then you go back, and then they tell you, oh, you did this. And then you keep doing the same crap over and over until you like something in you clicks after the like 100,000th time, you know, oh snap, I feel like I just really shouldn't go this way. And then you finally make that left turn. And then, you know, that's just one thing. And then you go to the life review, and then you finally got past that, and then you lose your memories again. and then you go through that route again to see if you may or may not make it. It is such a loop and a trap, and we'll be here for eons, and a lot of us have been here for eons, and this is the reason why some of us have incarnated now to help open that gateway to get us up out of this infinity loop that we're stuck in. So a lot of our parents and a lot of our people who have passed away, especially before 2012, you know, a lot of them have went that route, and they may be incarnated again as a baby, or they still may be in that limbo space, you know, in this little other heavenly zone of, you know, just going through certain things and getting ready to come back. We're never supposed to get ready to come back. We're supposed to be here, get that experience, and then continue our journey forward. So he can either be continuing his journey forward as well. But like Michelle said, ask, you know, send that, you know, do the, you know, really put out the intention. And I would say do the mirror work, talk to your shadow self, and ask your shadow self to give you information and to take you to where he's at. And then you'll kind of you'll be able to see where he's at if he's still on the astral plane. And if he's still on the astral plane, then that'll be good, because that means that you can, especially if you go in lucid, you can kind of like help him to kind of reshape his world if he's not in the world where he would like to be in. You can help him to reshape it through his imagination, because on that realm, the imagination is everything. It's way bigger than here. It's just we're getting pulled into that realm, so it's time for us to start really learning it and like trying to master it. Yeah, you're very welcome. Let me see. Oh, Michelle said, oh, and your dad zapped me at the grocery store today, KV. Oh. So definitely my dad, speaking of, you know, my father's energy, for whatever reason, I know this dude ain't incarnated again. I don't know what route he took or where he's at, but he totally is contacting Michelle. And it's so crazy because, like I say, I have all these OBEs, and I feel like it's so easy to contact me, but I don't know what that's about. So, you know, maybe he's on a realm, and he knew Michelle from a past life. Michelle, he might know you from somewhere. This dude will not come to me for whatever reason. What else you put on there? Michelle says YouTube has 2 good programs about ancestors and communicating. One is called Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes, and We Don't Really Die Radio. Oh yeah, I know about Rita. Yeah, that's a good one. And also, I'm gonna give you guys some movie links to check out, because I also use movies sometimes. So, you know, I was talking about, we were talking about, you know, pre-programming your dreams, right? Like, how do I go where, you know, I want to go wherever I want to go. So there's this movie, and it's called Waking Life. And maybe we can put it in the chat. I'll put it in here. Waking Life. What's that crazy movie? Oh yeah, all right. Inception. I'm about to put y'all up on it. Inception, the Adjustment Bureau. How the heck do you spell bureau? B-U-R-E. What? Damn, I don't know how to spell bureau. Wow, my brain just won't work. B-U-R-E-A-U. B-U-R-E-A-U. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Adjustment Bureau. Thank you, Martin. Michelle said he is not in this dimension. No, not at all. I am not in the dimension of numbers and spelling right now. So, Adjustment Bureau, and it's another one on the tip of the tip. Oh, Netflix. Phantom Boy.
Are you gonna recommend that crazy one that Antoinette was like, whoa. Oh, I thought that's what you were gonna say.
Wait. Enter the Void?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you recommend that, you really have to tell people like you can't have children around. It's
Okay.
very much for mature adults.
All right, yes.
Because she was like, she inboxed me, was like, what the hell? This
Okay.
movie came on recommended.
Okay, so I gotta let y'all know about Enter the Void. So Enter the Void, I don't want to really give it away too deeply because it is totally about an OBE. Just put it like that. In death. In so-called this little thing. But anyway, it's a deep movie just so that you can kind of see this out-of-body experience thing and kind of, you know, just to get a feel for the vibe. Yes. I posted in Facebook, in the Facebook group. So, you're welcome. So Enter the Void, definitely do not have your children around. Just don't have them around because there's actual sex in this movie, like actual raunchiness, but it's also like got like just a wild little you know, drug scene or whatever. Yes, Jocelyn, you saw it? I didn't even know you was in here, Jocelyn. Hey. So yes, Enter the Void is totally she watched it on shrooms. Oh my God. If you know what, that might be a good thing. Look, I never saw it on shrooms. It might be off the chain. So it is definitely wild and deep and interesting, and it's mind blowing. I say definitely check it out, people, because that's just, you know, you're in a lucid dreaming month, so you might as well go in and OD. So another one, but the first one that I recommended was Waking Life. And that is that's like the Constitution, man. That's like everything. So that is the movie. Like, definitely find Waking Life. I will watch Waking Life first before I watch anything. I, to this day, will watch Waking Life, and I would damn near have an OBE every time I watch that movie. Like, I watch that movie just to set myself up to have OBEs because the frequency is totally that. It's like that's one movie to where the frequency is literally out of body. It's totally lucid, out of body experience thing. So you'll enjoy that, and it helps to, you know, get the dreaming juices flowing. Yeah. So, oops, hang on. You have logged in from another device. Nope. I don't want to end the meeting. Okay, so and you know, just follow some of the other things. Oh yeah, and also Inception. If you guys haven't seen Inception, I would say that's definitely watch the Inception because it is totally about dreams. It's just don't mind all of the little violence shooting thing. Ignore that. For whatever reason, people just cannot put violent stuff in movies. I don't know why. The movie ain't got nothing to do with that. But they still got to go on. They still got to do that little action thing. Okay, so last but not least, because we've been going in and it's been amazing, I want to introduce you all to the white screen, the whiteboard. All right, so Ruach. What the heck is that? Okay. So I told you guys earlier that I was going to give you guys, I want to show you guys this special breathing circuit. And this is some ancient information, secret information, whatever you want to call it. It's a secret, but it's not really a secret to where nobody should know about it. It's just definitely has been told to, like, Illuminati type sex. You know what I mean? Like people not like us, just people who got this, whatever. Anyway, This is the Ruach circuit. And within our body, we have these different, just, the best way I can explain it. If you guys have ever seen the Kabbalah tree of life, and they have the different sephirots. So, for example, they got like this circle like this, and then they got a circle like that. And then you got the line like that. And then it goes down, and then it got all of that other stuff. Circle, circle, da, da, da. So if you don't know, Google the Kabbalah tree of life, and you'll see the image, you'll see the diagram that I'm talking about. But for our purposes, you don't really need to know it. It's just, you just need to know where this is, where I'm about to show you. So let me just draw it out real fast. Now the drawing ain't gonna be all that, but y'all gonna get me. You gonna understand. Bam. Yes. So, alright. I cannot take this little thing off for whatever reason. So I'll just point at it right here. All right. So this right here is what we call the Ruach breathing circuit. This is important to understand because this is how we charge. This is how we can proactively charge up our energy body. Like I was telling you, in order for you to have a lucid dream or out-of-body experience, the first thing you need is energy. We must activate this energy within us so that we can take advantage of it, or else you'll have weak, your dreams may not be as vivid, or you just may not have a lot of understanding about it. They may be supremely confusing. The reason why our dreams are confusing is because we don't have enough energy to understand them. When you are filled up with energy and you go into these dream states, you take off like a rocket. So this is going to be the left shoulder. The right shoulder. So this is going to be literally underneath. So we're going to look at it like the human body. This is like around the hip area. So you can get an idea of where this is located in your body. And this is where we're going to send our imagination to. So we're going to imagine that we have this golden energy swirling in our left shoulder. And then we're going to imagine the energy going across. Now you can go any way. We're just going to go this way first. And it's going to go across. You're going to, and when I say imagine, you're going to intend. Because we may say, okay, I'm imagining and it's not working. There's no such thing as it's not working with me. You have to stay at it until you feel it. We don't play the game of not working. We only play the game of successful interactions. So what we do is we continue to try until we get it, even if we don't feel it the first time, is what I'm really getting at. So what I'm saying is, this is the way that I approach everything in life. Like, there's no such thing as me not being able to do something. It's just, do I like it? Will I like it once I've done it? So we can do any and every single thing we want to. So with this, we want to intend, and we want to imagine, and we want to breathe, and our breath is going to be what we use to move the energy. So you choose whether you want your in breath to push the energy or swirl the energy. So we're going to breathe in, and when I breathe in, I breathe in, and I breathe in to swirl my energy. And when I breathe out, I push the energy across my chest into the other area, and this is located underneath, I'm sorry, not the shoulders, but underneath the shoulders, like right underneath the shoulder, in the corner of the body. And then when I breathe out and I push that energy to the other side. When I breathe in again, I swirl the energy here. And then what I do is I breathe the energy down this route right here. I push it out, and then I breathe in, I swirl the energy in. I breathe out, swirl the energy in, breathe out, da, 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 da. Swirl it in again over here, and then I breathe it down this way. And then swirl the energy, da, 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 and then you do it again. And you follow this circuit with your breath. Boom, 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 boom. You just keep going. There's no wrong way to do this. At the end of the day, in your mind's eye, you want to see golden energy swirling through your body, going through this circuit. As you continue to do this, you'll get good at it, and you'll be able to. You wouldn't have to do it like how I just showed you, one by one. You literally can just boom, and then all centers, boom, 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 and you feel the energy just going through. So the more and more you practice this, the more and more you'll start to build up that energy. And this is something.
What's the middle one?
So the middle one, I'm sorry, I didn't even say nothing about that. The middle one is the heart. The heart area, right? And it's a little bit low. I put it kind of low, but it's like literally the heart. Yeah, right there, like right in the middle, right in the middle of your chest. You want to send it, boom. So a little bit above the solar plexus, just right there, bam, bam, right in the middle. And you want to send it down across, down to the waist. So, like I say, the waist, the inside of the waist, and you want to send that energy across, and you want to just imagine it looks like an envelope. So you want to just imagine it's like an envelope of energy. So this is the circuit to literally empower your energy body, and you can do this all throughout the day. This is not only just for lucid dreaming. This is like if you want to just put more energy and empower more energy into your system, you can literally just call in that golden light, and you can play around with it and choose different colors. The higher self just told me to say gold right now. But you can I like golden light because it's highly energetic and it's equalizing. So remember I was telling you guys about gold. The frequency of gold equalizes. Equalizing and balancing is totally different. Balancing is this. Working at it, working at it, working at it, working at it. This is not balanced. This is equalized. Balance brings you to equalization. This is why gold is so important. So this is something right here that I want you guys to burn in your image. Burn that. Burn this into your bodies in the vibe, because this is everything. This was so big for me when I learned this, because it totally helped me to have longer lucid dreams and longer OBEs. And the longest OBE that I've ever had was about 2 weeks, like where I was in it for about 2 weeks, but in my bed I was asleep for like only maybe 7 hours. And I literally was on the astral plane so long to where I was getting tired. I didn't know what to do. I was like almost bored a little bit. I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my God, the days were just going by, and it was amazing. And then at the end of it, like I just felt real tired, and my body just like, it's like I fell asleep up there, and then I woke up in my bed. And it was, and I did all of this stuff, Now, I don't do it every night, though. Just to be honest with you all, I don't do it all the time, And now that I'm talking about it now, you better believe I'm about to crank it back up. So, but one thing, I will tell you, this really does activate that energy, though. So just know that. Don't just know that. But go into it with, go into it with the mindset of, we are about to like use this energy to have this out of body experience or this lucid dream. So that's the Ruach circuit. And let me see how. Okay. I saw somebody had some questions. Oh, you just said great job. All right. Thanks, Michelle. Thank you. Now, before you guys go, because we're about to wrap it up, I almost forgot one of the most important things. And it is literally something called recapitulation. And recapitulation, if you've ever read the Carlos Castaneda books, this is something that I definitely learned from reading the book, and I like to call, I like to say I learned it from my teacher, Don Juan, because in the book, Carlos Castaneda guide is Don Juan, but I feel like he wasn't really Carlos's guide. He was talking to me. Like I did everything that happened in that book, I pretty much experienced it except for meeting those. If you read the book, they talk about these other sorcerers and these. I haven't met any of those mystical, crazy people, but I've done pretty much a lot of what is experienced in that book. It really resonated with me, and I come to find out we kind of come from the same vibe. So my spirit, one of my spirit animals is the crow, the raven, and the crow is the sorcerer, it's the shapeshifter, and it has all of this magic energy. It's totally right up my alley. I'm totally that. I'm totally that all day. So I'm all about, releasing things that no longer serve. And the crows, they take the things that's dead on your body and they release them. The crows, literally, they eat the dead things, or their energy takes the dead, old, stagnant programs or energy out of your system. They transport it back to source. So they have an amazing role in the Negredo process, of alchemy. And the Negredo process of alchemy is the dark night of the soul. It is like going through all of that craziness so that you can like become the light of who you are. So this is why you guys have been going through it energetically in our program. Because this is what we bring. You're literally going through the void. And this is just definitely a part of my energy. A part of me and Michelle's energy, But anyway, just getting back to the recapitulation. Recapitulation, I may have mentioned it to some of you guys on our personal one-on-one calls, but this is definitely for the group, and one of, I would say, the most important exercises besides that Ruach and talking in the mirror and doing reality checks, this is the most important energetic practice I've ever done. So recapitulation allows you to go back into the past and helps you to reclaim your lost soul fragments that you have left. So a lot of us, we have relationships with people that we're still in, that we haven't recovered the energy back in high school, back in college. A lot of us are still carrying the energy of our parents' lessons and our peers and stuff from like elementary school and things like that. We carry all of that into this now moment. Recapitulation is the exercise that you do to release that and to pull all of your soul fragments to yourself. And it is one of the exercises. This is a very ancient exercise. This is not something that everybody know about. I've only known super deep individuals to know about this, super highly spiritual people to know about this, spiritually advanced people. And this is what helped my mom cure her cancer. So you got to know, when I speak on this, this is something that's very deep and dear to my heart, because I actually seen physical proof of how it looks to get your energy back when you're dying. So the exercise is to create a list of all of your lovers, create a list of your family members, create a different list for your everyday friends. And you may want to create a list for strangers that you have met and that you have just, maybe you just only can remember their name. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go through each and every person. So most of us, we start off with our parents. They trigger us the most. So you're going to start off with that. So you're going to write down, you're going to go to your mom or your dad or your aunt, your grandma, whoever you grew up with. And you're going to breathe in. And as you breathe in, you're going to breathe in through your nose, and then you're going to rock to the left. So you're going to sway your head to the left. And you're going to remember the very first thing you can remember about your mom or your dad. And you're going to start to remember your relationship with them, good or bad. And you're going to forgive them. You're going to forgive yourself. And then you're going to breathe out. So you're going to sway to the right. Oh, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. Easy. Just turn your head. When you breathe to the left, you're going to turn your head to the left. When you breathe in, you're going to turn your head to the left. So breathe in. You're going to remember. As you breathe in, it's going to take you to the memory, and then you're going to be there, and you can hold your breath and kind of soak it in and be in that energy. Feel that energy. Forgive that energy. And then you're going to breathe out. And when you breathe out to the right. And that's going to fan. That's not only going to fan, but it's going to pull and push that energy out. It's going to bring that energy from the past and bring it into the present. And then after you blow your breath out, without breathing, you're going to turn your head to the left. And then you're going to turn your head back to the right. And then you're going to breathe in again to go back into that memory to continue to work on clearing it out. It's going to bring up emotions. It's going to bring up all type of stuff. You're going to continue to breathe in until you can no longer breathe in that scenario anymore. And let me tell you all, it is going to blow your mind when you try to breathe in that scenario and you cannot breathe. Literally, your breath is going to stop, and you're going to feel as if you can't breathe it in no more. That's going to be your energetic sign that you have collected your energy and you have sent that. So we're working on mom. You have sent your mom's lost, fragmented energy back into her body. So now she's going to get a boost of energy. So as we reclaim this, we're going to literally feel the energy come back into our bodies. And remember, we don't play the game of not feeling the energy coming back into our bodies. We play the game of success. Even though you guys are not projectors, some of you guys are, piggyback on the success route and you will do it. So you want to do this? You want to do this through every person on your list. And you want to do that, and I'm giving you guys this not to complete within a week or a month. This is years. This is years worth of work. Even when you finish the list of recapitulation, because I finished my list, you still, every year you go back.
I called Shayla.
And you're gonna keep going back. And you're gonna continue to clear the energy until it is completely done. And then what happens is your mind is gonna be completely done with that. And this is what eliminates the life review process at the end of your life. So what I'm doing with you guys is I'm literally taking you guys through the life review process with this exercise before you die. So nobody will be able to, nobody will be able to Like, what angel will come up to you to give you a life review if you've already reviewed your life? Like, who's going to come and tell you what? Well, she said, I guess, wait, hold on. Oh, I didn't even read your thing. So it's a deep thing. It's a deep thing because this eliminate, when I tell you guys the most important energetic exercise you can possibly do, this ends reincarnation. There's no reason to come back after you have after you have successfully recapitulated your life. You will have gained back all of your lost soul fragments, and this is how you experience wholeness within the body. And this is how you gain access to these higher realms. We don't have enough energy. We remain fragmented, and we stay that way until we literally leave the body. But that game, we ain't playing that no more. You know, we're playing the immortality, continuing forever game. And spreading that light wave and leaving these rainbow codes and these seeds behind us as we continue our journey. Because everybody's walking the route, everybody's spiraling up to source, or spiraling forward, or spiraling down, or spiraling to the side. But either way you go, the final destination is source. So let me see something. Oh, Michelle must have been talking in the chat. Oh, Nova, you said you have so many questions about this breathing technique regarding my father. I go to his grave often, but I don't know. But I know it's just parts of his physical there. Yeah, and you got to know, and just to let you know, energy can never die. It can only be recycled and transferred. So the earth takes the physical remains. And the earth, literally, it absorbs us if we're buried properly. A lot of the times we're put in caskets and things like that. And that is a spell in itself. That's a whole nother conversation. That little box that they put us in totally kind of pins down our energy. And that is what's kind of pulling people, keeping people locked into this reality. Your body is supposed to decay into the earth. And then, you get a new body because this is how it is. These bodies are like jackets. These are like suits. But the only difference is when I talk about immortality and things like that, I'm not really just talking about being in this one body for like billions and billions of years. I'm just talking about being in this body long enough to actually get a decent experience. Like dying after 70, 80, or 90, or even 100 years is not enough time. Like the Saturn return blew us away, like, the first 28 years, and then we got only a little bit of time after that. You hit 50, and then after that, from 50, you become the master if you're the sixth. You mean to tell me you only become the master for like 20 more years or something like that? Nah, that don't make no sense. That just don't make any sense to me. Why would you become a master and then die like 10, 15, 20 years later? Becoming a master means you become the master of your reality and your being and your soul and your expression and your journey. So you end your journey. We end our journeys whenever we're done. When we say things like we're done with this reality or we don't want to be alive no more and stuff like that, that is what ends your journey. But when you say that you just want to experience more and you want to experience a better existence or a more expansive existence, then you will be walking into a more expansive, and you do not have to go through any physical death. You can totally just vibrate yourself out of the old reality, and literally you will disappear. People will not see you. And that is a very true thing that happens every time Michelle and I, when we used to go to the park and not meditate, but we would go out to the park and do this chanting. And while we were doing the chanting, the whole entire park would just disappear. I'm talking about a park full of people. As soon as we start chanting, I open my eyes, everybody have left the park. As soon as we stop the chanting, everybody showed back up. And I'm talking about, it happened a bunch of times, and it blew our minds to see how it was a bunch of people. We close our eyes, start chanting, look around, nobody. Ghost park. Soon as we stop, somebody come walking up out of the parking lot. And then another person come, and then another person come. Then we look over the hill, and then there's a whole bunch of people already over there. Like, what? So as you start to elevate your vibration, you literally experience transcendence while you're alive. And you start to exist on these higher frequencies. And you know when you're on a higher frequency when you don't have to really eat anymore. When you are having a whole lot of energy without eating. Having like all of this extra like just awareness without really, you know, I mean, you totally did something. You're trying to be happy. You're trying to elevate your vibration. So I'm just letting you guys know that it works. When you go into meditation, you disappear. Your vibration literally amplifies. When you turn on that music and you start dancing in your house and you having fun and you doing your thing, oh, you ain't on the old reality. You ain't in that Donald Trump reality. Like, you ain't in no reality where people getting hurt. Like, you are in the reality of pure pleasure, joy, and delight. And however long you can maintain that is however long you will be living in that. And you are responsible for maintaining it. I'm seeing all these things come up. All right, so let me start to read some of this. So anyway, recapitulation. Save the best for last. This is going to unlock you. So be prepared, get ready, and do the work, and literally work and work on clearing out that old, funky, stagnant energy. Take yourself from that old reality and bring yourself here. The experiences that you had in the past were experiences. We are in a new zone, so we can't even really take our old experiences and use them as like wisdom. We can only use certain parts of it. We're literally it's so new where we're at. A lot of our old ways of being and our old ways of solving issues and problems, they just don't work anymore. So we're waking up to this newness, and being lucid in your everyday moment is how you take that first step. But it's a huge step. So more every hour on the hour, doing the reality checks, hold your nose. The other reality check that I totally forgot to tell you guys was the one that I learned from Michelle. Well, I don't know if I learned this one. Michelle, did I learn the one with the hand with you? Okay. So there's another reality check that you can do every hour on the hour. Another thing that happens when you enter into your astral body is that, like I say, you have this ability to kind of walk through things and access to these other areas. Literally, if you try right now to push your hand through your hand, nothing happens, right? Nothing. Like, it's a hand there, you can't go through, dense reality, no magic, just physical. When you're on the astral plane and you do that, guess what happens? It goes right through, and it blows your mind because you could have sworn your hand was solid. And if you do this and your hand goes through, you should know you're not where you used to be. That is going to be a symbol that you can use to wake up on the astral plane. But remember, if you're going to do that one, you have to create a habit. Now, the third one Michelle uses is sticking her hand through the wall. So every now and again, while she's walking around the house, she would just be pushing her hand through the wall. And if her hand does not go through the wall, then she's in this reality. If her hand goes through that wall, she's in the other reality. So that's a reality check that you can do. And those are the 3 reality checks that, you can choose. I, to this day, in all honesty, I don't use reality checks anymore because I don't need to. I will be on the astral plane, and as soon as I get there, I know I'm dreaming. I just know I'm dreaming. And and every time I'm right. And it literally happened maybe last year. After all of these years of having these out-of-body experiences and lucid dreaming, I can automatically wake up on the astral plane when I go to sleep. All I have to do is literally go to the mirror and just tell myself, hey, wake up. and I will wake up just in the most random. I'll be just walking down the street, or I'll be in school, and I'll just boop, wake up. So Michelle, have you been answering these questions? Oh, okay. All right, yeah, because I don't hear you because you're on mute. Really? What did you say? I was trying to do the house.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to direct you because there's a whole lot of chatter in the chat room. So I would say this stuff Nakia was talking about was just about a TV show. You don't have to get into that. But Karen had two important questions. One of them was about the life review. Why do they show us these life reviews then? To get us to do this life review on Earth, like to get us to do it ourselves. And then there's a whole other important question that Karen brought up. So do you want to address the life review first?
All right, why do they show, all right, yeah. Why do they show us these life reviews then? To get us to do this life review on Earth? Like to get us to do it ourselves? What do you mean, like the life review? Like after you die, they take you into like this, you know, an angel or a family member or something like that comes, takes you through this white tunnel, and you feel all this crazy feelings, which is actually your feelings, by the way, just being reflected back at you. So you walk through this white light, and then they take you to this place to where you review your life about what you have just done. Now you say, why do they show us the life review? They show you the life review so that they can show you a conflict that you may have did or you may not have done. Now I've looked at it from a more higher level, and this is something that I've been told that baby souls go through until your soul is mature enough to realize what's happening, and then you kind of wake up to this, and then you're just pretty much no longer a part of it. So there's a level to the game to where you're literally being tricked to kind of play this role out over and over so that you can gain, I guess, some kind of footing in physicality. But like I say, it wasn't always really like this though. So I think this is what's going on. It wasn't, so you would come down to Earth, you would experience life on Earth, you would have a life review, and then you would say, okay, I did that, I learned this. Do I really want to go back there? Nah, not really. I can continue. I learned that lesson, and I can kind of continue on. Because the next level of the game it's not like you're going to turn into an angel after you leave this life. Like you are literally still thinking that you're still your name. So you don't become this benevolent being just because you're outside of your body. You have to, the soul grows. Soul is like a plant. It's like a flower. So it starts off as a seed, and it has to kind of grow. But our reality was infiltrated by another theater of existence. But this gets so deep. But our experience was infiltrated by another theater of existence that was super dark, because in their realm, that was normal. So it added this extra thing over here, and that darkness came, and then people became trapped. So instead of leaving here and saying, you have your life review, and then you keep going on the path, they say, oh, you did this, and then, you might, or they'll show you a past life that you may or may not remember, and you may feel a certain way about it. And then they'll kind of coerce you to like kind of come back. And then for whatever reason, I don't know how we agree, but I don't know if they tell us about the mind wipe thing or not. But you got to know this knowing of our minds being wiped every time we come back alive. This is new. We did not know this. We did not know that we were losing our memories every time we would come back into this life. So this wasn't the case for this planet the whole time. Like I say, you would get the life review and you keep going, or either you'll come back if you wanted to. But most people don't do that. They just continue to go along the journey. but some energy came in and it started to like kind of harvest the energy, and it's like we here for too long.
Can I say something, babe?
Yeah.
So these two shows that I've also posted on Facebook, one being Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes, and the other one is We Don't Die with Sandra Champlain, I think is the host. You can find them on YouTube, easy. There's lots of episodes, and some are better than others because, well, especially We Don't Die Radio, she just interviews anybody who's had a near-death experience or who studies them or who's like a medical practitioner who's, you know, heard about it or whomever. So she just interviews a lot of perspectives about what people see. And Roberta Grimes, she talks to like a lot of people who are scientifically studying this. And she's the one, I think it was on her show that I found out, or no, it was both of their shows where I heard them talking about the soul phone. So they've actually developed technology that works, but it's in Portuguese because I believe it's a Brazilian woman who started it. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, this is an actual physical phone in the dimension in which we understand we're in right now. And you can text to the deceased and they can text you back. So they're developing the English version.
Yes.
And, you know, I've listened to lots of the episodes. Everybody on these episodes seems super sober and clear and credible. And the stuff that they're talking about the afterlife research is incredible. So, you know, if you have the time, I listen to this when I'm driving or doing housework and stuff like that. So that's how I've listened to a lot of episodes. But I recommend it, you know, to go deeper into that. And through the course of listening to those shows, I've definitely heard that there is not judgment. We're the ones who judge ourselves. Yes. So I think that a lot of us, because we judge ourselves, and in this realm we get so much programming about how unworthy we are and how this and that and below the bar and we've missed the mark, we can carry that with us and kind of get tricked into feeling like we have to come back.
Yes.
And, you know, I'm just seeing how, like, you know, we don't have to get into that whole story, but entities that have a negative agenda would like put this programming in this life and put us in a culture where there's not a consensus reality understanding that like at least once a month you need to like do some recapitulation and some meditation, and you know, it's not built into our culture. So it's like we're getting tricked to like not only drain a lot of energy here, but get a lot of trauma here that kind of makes our spirit heavy when we get there. And so we're like totally unclear and we judge ourselves and come back. But really what a lot of people say is nobody is judging you, even the suicide situations, even like the most horrible people doing things. On the other side of the veil, they take off that persona and they're like an angel that was here doing work to show us our shadow. So I really recommend those shows for that reason.
Yes, yes. And thank you for that, Michelle. And also, just to answer, I saw Karen put on here about Jason Estes, I don't know, Estes or whatever, I don't know his name is. It's saying if we were born more than 37 years ago, we sort of already retired. We didn't have that much light coming into our vehicles at birth and can't really expand like others. This is where we got to use major discernment. That is the most, put it like this. I've seen some people that would seem like they was born 50 years ago and they look better than 20-year-olds. like
Lisa.
Yes. It literally is a matter of your, yeah, it's a matter of your perspective. I would say just your perspective, but also your programming. And it's people like that to where, you know, they have a certain name for themselves and you think that these people have, just put it like this. Nobody was born with blocks on them to where you wasn't really bringing in that much light or whatever. There was indigos here in the 50s, in the 40s. There were enlightened beings all throughout, right, humanity, and people who have transcended the form that existed hundreds of years ago. So 37 years ago is totally, no, we are way into the enlightened era already. And that ain't nearly, like, you have to, I can see if he said if you was born 17 million years ago, then maybe. But nah, not 37 years ago. And I just feel like certain people, we just have to watch out that agenda. There's an agenda out there that wants you to die and that wants you to feel like you did a jacked up job, and they want you to come back so that they can keep feeding off of that energy. And they come in human bodies, and they are super popular, and they may sound super smart because they say a bunch of words, you know, and you know, and they give you a bunch of truth about certain things, but nah, nobody can ever tell you how much light was being poured into beings unless they were God themselves. We can feel, maybe he didn't feel a lot of light around his reality when he was growing up, and now you know, and he can be projecting that out as like humanity.
Babe?
Yes.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Because I've had a couple of clients that, I mean, and I used to teach yoga asana to people of all ages, like seriously, children all the way up to people in their late 70s, early 80s even. I had a lady who I think was 85, who came to one of my classes on a regular basis. So I feel like what happened is the early indigos and these people who showed up like superheroes, they came and had to play superhero in a very dense reality. And so because of that, they took a lot of hits, and it can make you feel tired. You know, it can make your energy kind of get dense. It can make it not flow so easily, you know? So you just have to really have the absolute intention to like clear all that up, and the total belief that you can heal it. However, you know, that takes a certain spirit. And I do feel that some people just felt like, I'm tired, and they weren't afraid to leave the body, so they left the body and let it dissolve. But we also know of people who are many years older. Think of Paul, you know, think of people in Miami that we know. There's a lot of people that we know that somehow they came through it, and they're still like bearing love and light super brightly, you know. And I just feel like it just takes a lot of work, and it really does seem like people of these earlier decades, it's just like they had to walk through quicksand, and the crystal children are kind of like hovering and flying. Mm-hmm. So that contrast can also be very discouraging at times, you know, because you're not upset that the crystal children are doing that. It's just like you see such a difference between like your like beat up, you know, scenario and their like fresh alive thing. And it can feel like I can't get back to that. But I'm pretty sure every single person on this call has unburdened an exile, and you see what happens. The contrast can be incredible, the dimensional shift. So, you know, keeping in mind dimensions aren't places, they're vibrations that we can visit. They're states of mind. And if you really do this inner work, like, it's going to start to change even your physical down here. And I really have to, you know, say thank you to Kayvon for always being the messenger who insists on this, no matter how many demons people have that are trying to say otherwise, and people attack him. Like, it's so crazy that he's bringing this message, like, you know, you still have light in you and you can cure everything. Because, you know, some of the trauma was just so intense. It's like, you can't even get over how intense it was. I think that's what Sri Kira kept talking about, the pain of the pain. It's like, golly, you know, and that can be its own dimensional rabbit hole, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that if you know that it's part of a path, and you can kind of choose to like be more aware at all stages, so you kind of get through it more efficiently. I don't want to say quickly because there's not a rush, but just more efficiently. Just like lucid dreaming, just all this being, it's just about being lucid of different states of mind. And we're really working at just integrating all of this, because we're affecting what's happening, quote unquote, up there. And what's happening up there is definitely affecting what's happening down here. And like, people are being prepped for like sacrifice in the astral, people who don't remember their dreams in this reality. So there's a block to them even knowing that this is happening.
Yes.
So, you know, we're offering this super important component because it's just been a lot of tricksterism and, you know, tricknology and trickology and tricky crap. And it's come at us physically, mentally, emotionally, and nanotechnology and the freaking food that we're putting in ourselves. So we just got to remember the self is who we really are. And it's okay to like identify and be attached to this character. Like, I know I'm playing a character, Michelle Gaza, but I'm not. She's just one aspect of a very multifaceted being.
Yes.
And so nothing that's happening here can take away the power of you in those other dimensions. That has not been diminished. Nobody can diminish it. The issue is like, it's like unclogging the lines of connection. And when you do that, that's when these things happen that people call miracles. Like, people lose 10 years off their face.
Yes.
You know? Just like we've all seen the negative, like everybody believes in stress. Stress can put 10 years on you, right? Like I think that's ubiquitous in any culture. Everyone believes the negative part, but there's also a positive part. Healing and like de-stressing can reverse your aging. And that's just as real. And sometimes you have to just be kind of stern with the parts of you that have been programmed, not in judgment, but they can't take the steering wheel. Because if they do, and we can mistakenly do that out of some type of feeling of tolerance or something, they will drive us off a cliff with all the other lemmings. Yep. So you've got to do that work and just gently pull that part back, go back to the point of origin where you found this belief of like, you know, I'm going to age or my parents age, so I have to do it that way and blah, blah, blah. Like these little tiny programs can come in so young that they're just a foundation that disappears into the background and we don't see it anymore. And we just assume it as truth and build a whole life around it. So I just really appreciate Kayvon because he like always checks me when they come up and like reminds me like, look, that's a program. And he's not nice about it like me. Like I do the IFS, so I'll like invite the program in for a cup of tea. Kayvon's like, hey, get out of the house. It's a program.
Ow.
So anyway, I'll stop talking.
No, it's all good. Thank you. Thank you for that. You know, you always back me up and bring that extra clarity. So thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. And yeah, 100% true. 100% true. We've seen it. And the reason why we talk about this, y'all, is because we've seen it. We literally seen people get younger. Right. Like I've totally seen, I see it a lot of times when I'm talking to you guys on the calls. And you guys don't know when you popping in and out of that. But when you smile and when you feel inspired and all of that, like the wrinkles disappear. Like you literally seem as if you like just got out of college. Like your energy feels so fresh. And the more and more you practice that, and the more and more you start to like look yourself in the mirror, right? And even if you see age, remember, we don't play the game of not succeeding. So you look in that mirror until you can see yourself young again. And I mean, find it. And even if you you can't find it. You looking in the mirror, I just cannot find the youth. Smile. I guarantee you it'll pop up. And it likes to pop up in this little middle region right here. When you start getting happy, this little region gets real bright. So look for it and you'll find it. You'll literally find that youth in you and then you spread it. And you spread it by maintaining that vibe, like staying happy for no reason, literally. Just be happy for no reason, like just for no reason. Like nothing has to happen. You can just be happy. And you know, secretly we know this is our fountain of youth that we're doing right now. We're de-stressing, we're de-aging. So, you know, trust me, all of y'all partners and all y'all, like they gonna love it. They gonna love it. And they gonna benefit from your youthfulness. Because it's going to activate something in them. And you're going to spread that energy out to the community if you're the generator. You know, so all my generators, definitely, this is like really your job. Like your job is to really, really anchor in that feeling. And Nova, you had a question about astral projection and out-of-body experiences. We can definitely speak up on it on the next call, the difference between astral projection and out-of-body experiences, because there is a little difference, but the difference is more so like the transitioning point. to that. So we definitely are going to get into that big time. So I'm going to explain that, but we already are almost at 3 hours. Went in. Don't even feel it. I mean, it's weird though. That went by kind of fast. So yeah, and thank you for a lot, for you guys for showing up and like being here. And we love this group. Like y'all, like you gotta know. I feel like one of them teachers, like when the teacher every year, the teacher say, "This is my favorite class," and you leave the class and you think you all special. Every year, I used to crack up with the teachers. They used to always tell me that. They used to, "Oh yeah, this is the best class I ever had." Really? You might say that to your very first class you ever taught.
Babe, I just unlocked it. Just watching you today and hearing you say that. This is what's really going on. Because this is what I was going to tell you before we get off. Every time you teach this class, it gets better. And I don't know how it's possible. Because it's the same basic material. Like it doesn't, the things you recommend don't change. It's all the same topics, but it's like, I guess you keep refining it. And so then, it's reflected in the students as well, which is not to take, like this is like the best group, and we only attract the best into this school. So every group is the best group.
Totally.
Every group has such a different flavor, but it is true. Every time we're in a group, we're like, oh, this is going to be like the best group we've had. But, each group has its own special thing. And it's different. Like we had more men the first time we did this. We had like 4 guys. It was very different.
Yeah, it was way different.
Yeah.
And just to let you guys know, like Nova said she liked it because it feels so real. And I'm so happy you say that. I really try to be real. Like, and Yamalet knows because Yamalet been here damn near every time. So, but I keeps it real.
Yamalet has been in every semester.
She been in every semester?
Yes.
So Yamalet knows. It is unbelievable. It does. It is like crunk. So, so I'm just so happy, and I love my open G center and my open throat because I can't say the same thing the same way twice. So this is the beauty of having the open throat chakras, because you can kind of be flexible with your deliveries. And you can kind of go over the same topics and say it like a million different ways. And it's unbelievable, but you can really do that. So, but yeah, Nova though, I pride myself on being very real and very true and very honest, and I'm very in my integrity. So I'm real about this stuff. When I say that you guys can like de-age and you can like totally unlock, like you're doing it. You're already doing it. Except, the only person I haven't had a session with was you, Nova. What's going on? You getting called out, but you had a baby. So you got lucky.
Yeah, you just rescheduled her session this week.
I know.
It's probably meant to be. It's probably meant to be, and that's perfectly fine with me.
All right, there it is.
Yeah, she probably needs a lot of rest.
Oh yeah, look, I already know about that game. Yeah, that when you have that when you just have that baby, like, look, life ain't no joke.
Hey, let me tell you though, he's been asleep this whole class, and I can't even say any other night he has not done that. So, thank you. He's dreaming. I'm next.
Yes. Look, I love these self-activated babies though. Like we got some self-mastery babies up. I think we had a baby born every semester. This is wild. Like literally somebody has a baby every one of our classes. Somebody has a baby. So look, we are bringing in some amazing energy, and that child is totally soaking up all these downloads. And I can't wait to meet. What did you have? You have a boy or a girl?
It's a boy. His name is Malik Orion.
Oh yeah, Malik. Oh yeah.
He's been listening. He's been listening to this whole class. I've been laying right here next to him, so he's definitely downloading this information.
I believe he's a 6'3".
Huh?
Yeah, he's a 6'3". Yep, he was born at 11:33 on the 12th, and I told Michelle this. He's is it generator, manifesting generator. But the power went out twice, and the backup generators came on while I was pushing in labor. So the power went out, the generators popped on, and that just totally confirmed the whole generator aspect of it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, you got a powerhouse right there. 6'3"? Oh Lord, I know that energy. Yeah. That energy is crazy.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So that's deep. That's deep. Oh, I know I'm gonna be talking to him. I gotta speak. Look, I have a contract with every 6 being that's born on the planet. If I feel like it don't matter if they babies or not. Like we gonna have that conversation.
Oh, we will be using these classes as reference as he gets older. Like it's just something to refer back to for him. So for sure.
Yeah. Oh, you're making me feel real happy about what I do. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are very welcome. And I just want to I just want to thank everybody for coming on, and thank you all for tuning in to another wild episode of the New Earth Self Leadership Academy.
Great job, babe. That was really fun.
Yes. Oh, look, y'all, we only cranking up. It's just now cranking up. Oh, Lord, I can't wait to take y'all on these journeys. So until we meet again, sweet dreams. Yes. Have a great night, and I love you all. I forgive you, and I accept you, and I allow you. Let's do it. Orgasm, energy, all day. Prosperity, abundance, all day.
And you got to remember, dream work makes the team work.
Yes. And that's the honest truth. All right, everybody. Good night. Bye-bye.